Okay, MyCloud. This should be interesting. 4 TB drive. Save everything, access anywhere. So I'm gonna just got that today from Maplin's. £149, I think. There we go. We're gonna try it because there's what is it? I think it's a. I'm not sure actually. I'll find out what the space is on this one. It's full. It's a Buffalo. Excellent drive. But as you can hear, this specific one, very, very, very noisy. And the only way you can stop that is put your hand on it. Really heavy. Push down really hard on it. So usually I actually have something stacked on top of it to stop it making that noise. I do have another one of these at work, which is even bigger, same body, but more space, storage space. It doesn't make a noise at all. Right, it's got a fan at the back. This is a network one. I wonder if I can spin it around without actually accidentally unplugging it. There's the cable. No, I can. Yeah, the cable is right here. So you've got USB and network and various other things. I'm not going to review this one, but noisy old thing. It's very, very good though. I've had that for several years. So I'm going to try this one. Let's get it unwrapped and out of the box and see what we got. And this is what we have. It is actually quite a compact little design. I thought it would be a lot bigger from the photo, but taller, but a lot thinner, and nowhere near as deep. Nowhere near. And you should have a USB. Yep, it's a fast port as well, and it's got a Ethernet cable plug in there. So that is pretty cool. That's the size of it. There we go. Got little rubber pads on the bottom, so designed to be stood upright. Yeah, nothing on the side, so designed to be stood upright, I presume, like that. So it's pretty cool. In fact, I wonder if putting it on top of there will stop that one making a noise. It does. Perfect. Silence. Take it off, noise again. There we go. With the Buffalo, going back to the Buffalo again, this is not what this is about, but the front does come off and it has your 2 drives in there, which is pretty neat. So those are obviously interchangeable. We just literally pull the ring when it's off. Take them out, drop that down, pull it out. Easy as that. This one looks like it's completely sealed. So to be clear, my requirement for the network drive is in the hint of that name there. Network drive, it needs to be standalone, switch it on, can access it with multiple devices. Constantly uploading pictures to it and storing them. So I basically rip off all the pictures from the phones, both our phones, cameras or whatever, and they all get put in month folder and year. So year and month, and they're all sorted regularly, sort of every end of each month. They're all sorted out. I'm putting the relevant folders. Probably got 10 years worth been doing that for. Videos and photos all bundled together by month, which is extremely useful. But as you can imagine, it takes up a lot of space. So yeah, so I'm just going to now plug this in, try and connect to it, and just see if it works seamlessly. The Buffalo, and it may not be nothing to do with the Buffalo whatsoever, it takes an age. Only transfers at about 5 megabits per second over the Wi-Fi. So we'll see if this is any different. So that is my Buffalo. As you can see, it's just short of a 2 terabit. It's basically maxed out. So hence the rush to the shops today to go and get another. So time to switch it over. This uses a NAS Navigator 2 to actually locate it if it doesn't automatically show. It usually automatically shows, sometimes it doesn't. You just open this little bit of a program and it finds it on the network for you. But yeah, we shall see how the other one works. Now, I've got the smallest desk in the world. It's pretty small. It's just a standard title desk, not very deep, not very wide. That network cable is only just the length of this desk. So there's no way I can put it on the left hand side of the desk and run it round to the right hand side. So yeah, gonna have to either get a network cable, but for now I'm gonna move it to the right hand side of the desk. Okay, that is now plugged in and it's plugged into the Sky router. It's got some noise to it, but it's relatively quiet. So let's just see. Oh dear. Let's just see if this actually shows up on the surface. refreshing. This is the network. That's the LSW XL820 is the Buffalo, which oddly is no longer switched on. So that's a bit strange. But let's have another little look. I haven't followed the instructions, I just plugged it in. If it doesn't work on refresh, I will read the instructions. What does when I try and connect to that? Sure, he says it doesn't exist anymore. Oh, there we go. Don't know why that's there. Right, time to read the instructions. Okay, you've got to go to mycloud.com, and obviously that's mine there, so I'm going to select that. And then you've got to download apps and software, and then you've got to download the software apparently. Backup software. I don't want to download that. So yeah. Interesting. Yeah, download. And so this is the instructions here. 1, 2, and then MyCloud. Okay, and then it says download software. Get the most out of your MyCloud network drive. Don't think you need to really download this to actually get it working. So yeah, I'm going to do a search for it again. I can't see why you need that. Let's cancel. Let's just refresh. There we go. MyCloud. You can definitely see it, but it does this with the other one. It takes you to this twonky server. But whoopsie daisy. See that IP address there? I can delete that, and then you can copy it, and then you can go to run. You can go to run, and then you can enter that. Pretty sure you can enter that into. Whoopsie daisy! Sorry, I'm not filming it. Poor video in there, and there you go. So that's where it is. It just works. Okay, so I should just be able to start transferring files into there. So that's pretty cool. And obviously I can now explore it a little bit more, and I'll try and see if there's any software to download, and if there is I shall film again. But it's relatively quiet. Seems pretty good so far. I might do some transfers and see how I get on. Okay, and I've actually created Pink Packard Bell Notebook in the on the drive as a folder, and the story goes this funky pink laptop here, or notebook, bought a few years ago, and it just went faulty. It's been at work ever since. It's basically, I mean, it was just over 12 months old when it went wrong, typically out of warranty, but it was the charger that was faulty actually, as I found it the other day. So anyway, I've got loads of stuff on here I want, but on this one it shows is, if it ever focus, the iPhone, MyCloud, and it's just opens up, or should do, should I say. Oh, and now it's doing something. So installing device software, so it's now installing the software for MD MyCloud. So I'll wait for it to do its thing. Okay, apparently a device software was not successfully installed. Driver not found. Excellent. So obviously this is a much older machine than the Surface Pro 3, so that had no real problems finding it, but I will do the same thing. I will find the IP address, and then I'll just see if I can go to it directly. Okay, and double click on that icon again, it actually brought me to here. So this is the install screen. It shows all the instructions, so that's just worked. So I'm going to run through all of this, create an account and stuff, and we should be good to go. Okay, got an error, and all I've done is save the settings that we had on there. It's a pretty cool concept. It's not new, it's been out for ages. The Buffalo does a similar thing. Basically, you can get it to firmware update automatically, and obviously this can be accessed outside. If it's set up on your router, the inbound, you can actually get it to connect when you're outside your own network, so you can be anywhere in the world, and access the drive with the content on it and upload to it and download to it. It's like having your own Dropbox essentially, but probably substantially lower unless you've got very good upload and download speeds. Okay, don't know what that arrow is to do with, but here we are at the main dashboard, and it's pretty cool. Tells you the number of users. Set one up for myself and one for my wife. Content scan idle. That's the amount free space. So you've got a nice little dashboard. Let's see if it was a firmware issue that was the problem. Install and rebuilt. So we might as well install it. I can't really tell when that other one's from. It can't be 2003, can it? So yes, that's not right. So let's just install that. I'll do an update, and I'll let you know if it was easily. Oh, I see how long it takes. If it quickly jumps to 100%. If there's any issues with it, I shall film you them and let you know. Okay, whilst waiting, Surface Pro 3, that's now appeared on mine as well. It's just a case of waiting, I suppose. And it'll connect up, it should show the dashboard, etc. There you go. So that's what you want to be clicking on. Takes you straight to it. Spot on, really. It's interesting, it shows you that. It says upgrading 10%. It actually shows you the same on both PCs. That is pretty neat. I like that, that's good. So if multiple machines connect at the same time, they see the same thing. Okay, and there's the update done, and it's a different user interface, basically. Pretty much the same, different colours. They jazzed up this a little bit by the looks. So I'm going to do some transfers across now and just see how that goes. Okay, we got a bunch of folders here, totaling 1.66 gig. So I'm going to cut them and I'm going to paste them. Dangerous, I know, but that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and on refreshing, there it is. There's the drive. So I should be clicking that. Should show my shares. That's my wife, and that's me. There's new folders that I set up when I set up the users. So I'm just going to go to public because I didn't realise it would do that. And I'm going to go to shared pictures. There's the Packard Bell, and then I'm going to paste in there, and we'll just see what sort of speed we get. More details. So it's transferring approximately, it's about a meg per second more than I've been getting on my Buffalo. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So it's a little bit quicker. It is probably down to the router, to be honest. Sometimes with the Buffalo you get like 11 megabits per second, but it's almost typically 5, and this seems to be running at about 6. So that's pretty neat. It's doing that fine. It's copying all that across. Let's have a quick look at this. Let's see if we refresh this page, perhaps. Will it start showing the photos and the videos in this folder? Because it must have done some by now. We'll just see if it's got a count there. That's when the transfer is going. It actually says not responding. It slows it right down. Okay, reading, attempting to authenticate. There we go. It's blank at the moment. And there we go. Videos, 370 megabytes in there. So yeah, cool. That's working as it should do. Okay, now moving on to the other part, to smartphones and stuff like that. You've got the app. So I'm going to download the app now onto my iPhone and see how that works, how you can set it up, and we shall have a look. I'm not sure if you click on iOS, well, this takes you to the iTunes library, but MyCloud, there you go. Let's have a little scroll through here, shall we? Improve my faster performance, notifications, excellent. So we shall run through that. I know it's all good, and see if it does work better than the Buffalo one. The Buffalo one's a bit old school, I must admit, so I'm kind of hoping, just by chance, that this is better. It doesn't really matter too much. I don't use it currently that much from my phone. It's usually using basically a cable plugged into the PC through USB, and I transfer the stuff across from then. But of course, if this is useful, then I may be using it. Let's try it. Okay, I've downloaded the iOS app, and it asked me if I wanted to sync my photos automatically, and I created a folder called Auto Backup. It's not something I actually want to do, to be fair, because I want to plug it in and organise them myself. Otherwise, what I do is I cut and paste, always cut and paste, I've done for years. So it removes them from the phone, pastes them into the computer or to the drive. And you know exactly then what you've taken away and what you've got left on the drive. If you have duplicates, it then starts to become complicated. You sort of don't dare delete files from your phone, just in case you haven't actually copied them across, etc, etc. So it's just always nice to do it that way. I'm now going to install the Windows one. There's a Windows part of it as well, so I'm going to install that and we'll see what that looks like. Now, one thing I have had a problem with is signing in to my account. I've created an account on the drive using my email address, but never entered a password. When I go to MyCloud, there's just a sign-in button. With the sign-in button, there isn't a link underneath saying set up an account or don't have an account, question mark, like it usually is. There's nothing. So in the end, I've just clicked forgot my password, and it said it'll email me. An email was sent with further instructions on resetting your password. I've never entered a password. And I can't see where you can either, which is a bit strange. So I've done that, and then I'm going to see if I can then get an email and then actually sign in. I'll show you what I mean. So here's the main page where you land on, and you've got a sign at the top there. If you click sign in, it takes you to a page where it says sign in, and you've got no other options on that page. So if okay, it's going to be a bit confusing using the mouse. Got the trackpad. There we are. So MyCloud, that doesn't work either because it just says sign in. If it says don't have a MyCloud of your own, you click get yours now. It takes you to a store to go and buy a drive. Well, obviously I've already got a drive, and this just MyCloud OS is just talking about the cloud. So I'll see if I get an email. Turns out that I did get an email when I first set up and didn't enter a password. No, and it went into my spam folder of my email, and there was an email saying confirm, sign up, create a password within that thing. But if you're on iOS, that's the screen you get. Whether I can actually get this to... it's not going to focus. But I'm going to force it to focus. Let's force it to focus. Can I force it to focus on it? Is it going to... can I fit most of the screen in? There we go, got it. Right, so the email you get is blank on iOS when you click the link in there, so it takes you there. It does not work on iOS, which is a bit unfortunate. So what I'm going to have to do is go onto my PC now, find that email on webmail because I haven't got it in my Outlook, and just go from there. But it was there in answer to the question. In fact, there's two there. There's a password reset in my spam folder, hence the reason I went to my spam folder, because I didn't get an email for the password reset. So I'll go to that link and I should then be able to set up an account. So if you're wondering why you can't set up an account, it's because you've had an email, and if you haven't got an email, it's probably your spam folder. Right, as you will see, it is also blank on a PC. So, oh dear, I'm going to try and find a workaround for this. Okay, right, I've managed to sign in. The password reset email link worked, so I was able to actually do something with that. And I've managed to reset my password, and now I'm able to log in. And it is syncing the images on my phone, which is pretty cool. So it seems to be doing the job there, uploading and actually working. So I'm going to have to try this. I think the next stage is to actually try this while I'm out and about to see whether it just works. I'm not convinced it will, unless it does just by login. Because you log into your account, it just works by email and the password, which would be brilliant if it does. With the Buffalo one, you have to go to buffalonas.com and then type in you have to name the drive, and set up the router, the inbound rules on your router to make it work. But yeah, hard to believe, but perhaps it will. Probably will, by the looks of it, and that's ridiculously simple if that's the case. So I think that's the next test. I'm still downloading 22 odd gig of some video files to get across to it. So yeah, that's looking cool. So the account, if you do struggle, check your spam folders, and if the original email doesn't work, do a password reset. Say you forget your password, and that email does work, and that will get you around that slight problem there. But otherwise, it's been seamless. Okay, with the Surface installation of the actual program, it's getting that error, and it may be because I'm transferring files and stuff, so I'm going to wait to do that one, and hopefully I shall be able to sort it and it'll be able to install and I'll have the program running on the PC, but I'm not sure I actually need to use it on the Surface. One thing I would like to actually test is, I just suddenly had a thought. I've left this doing its thing. It's actually backing up 20 gig off my iPhone, and 23 gig off there is being overwhelmed at the moment with this, because I switched on auto backup for my phone. But I do wonder if it's a synced folder, whether or not if I take a photo. I was talking about earlier, if you remember, I usually cut and paste, and it's a bit daft having a folder full of photos that I've already copied across by cutting them and pasting off my phone when I put a USB cable in. But I'm wondering, when I cut and paste, will it remove all those photos in that synced folder? Or does it just upload them and keep them there and doesn't actually check back down to the phone whether they're still there? And with a cut and paste, you can have the same file names quite often, so I wonder how it copes with that. What I probably will do is, before I do the cut and paste, I will take a photo, wait for it to back up automatically onto the drive, and then I'll delete the photo on the iPhone, and then wait to see if it actually does get removed. If it's still there tomorrow or something, then it's never going to be removed, is it? It's just going to stay there, so I'll test that. Now, it was going swimmingly, but last night I thought, oh, I'll just check how these auto backups are doing. And now I get this. Whilst doing that, it's on. I can hear it whirring away. The network light at the back's flickering away, but it just does this on the app. It sits there like this for as long as you like, and then it comes up with an error saying it's offline. So we'll just let that error come up and show you the time it takes to tell you that. And this obviously is at home on the network. It's not like I'm out and about on a 3G or anything, or on a data connection, cellular data. So I'll just let it do its thing. I know it's going to take some time. There we go. So it says WD MyCloud is not accessible, local documents are available. So yes, that's not working. It hasn't done since last night. I tried it again this morning and it's still not working on either of our phones. So okay, and one thing I haven't tried is actually connecting that, so I'll just log my computer on. Let's have a look if it connects. Waiting. I don't think it's going to now. What else to do with? No, it's not going to connect. It's got exactly the same issue as the iPhone app. Right, well, let me try and work this out then and try and see what the actual problem is. Okay, and that's it on my computer, showing it as an attached device to the router. So the router knows it's there as a device, but I still can't connect to it through the app or through clicking on it on the PC. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and connect to it directly. Yes, and that works. So connecting to it directly works just fine, which is a bit strange. If I go back to here, it's still loading and it won't load. He'll just say no web page not available, and it still doesn't load through the app. So I just don't know what's going on with that. It's almost like the user interface is not working. But a direct connection will work. Let's just see if I can browse. Yeah, it loads all the files. That works. Don't know. It is working, but it isn't working through the UIs, user interfaces, for some strange reason. But a direct connection is, which is a little bit frustrating. Okay, I thought I would try and connect through the website, but it can't access it either. I've spent about 30 minutes on the forums and loads of people got the same problem. They can connect via the IP address, as in they can go directly to the drive there and see the files, but they can't actually access it through here. So I think I'm going to be contacting WD support, to be fair. But anyway, yeah, still running through it. Okay, a case is coming in, so we shall see if I get a response from them. In the meantime, I'm going to reboot my router and see if that makes any difference at all. Okay, a router reboot did not work. Hey, there it is. And that's back up and running. I turned it off, pulled the plug out, waited 15 seconds, put it back in again. So that solved that problem. And I've also been able to access it remotely outside on a cellular data networks from a mobile phone. I've been able to load up pictures and everything, so that's pretty cool. So that is working. So my only real concern is it could happen again, and if you're not here to unplug the cable and plug it back in again, you just won't be able to access it via the app or online. But I have got internet controlled plugs, so I can turn them on and off anywhere in the world. So I could plug this in directly into one of those, and then I could reboot it, turn it off and on whenever I liked, from wherever I liked. But if you haven't got that, then you're a bit stumped. You kind of have to get someone to unplug it for you. But there we go, it's up and working again. I kind of hope that's a good enough run through for you. I can't really think of anything else I need to go over. There's obviously little bits and bobs, but otherwise that should be a good roundup. I just hope it's been helpful and a bit insightful. If you're thinking of getting one, if you got any questions, just comment below. If you could like and subscribe, that would be awesome. Cheers, guys. Oh, if you see any ads pop up, click them.